Hey guys, Ben with Bigstuff3 here. How's it going? So today we're going to be talking about the project inside of the Bigcommpro software. So if you're familiar with our software, back in the day we had old standard Bigcomm with the Gen3 ECUs. We then moved on to the Bigcommpro software. So if you're familiar with the Bigcommpro software, you're going to be very familiar then with how the Gen4 software works. Now the Gen4 hardware platform is completely different than the Gen 3, but we use an updated version of Bigcommpro to run the new Gen 4 ECU. So this video is going to be about the project section, why the project is important for how you set up and configure ECU, and where all your data lies, okay? So if you go to the website and you click on the software download section, there's going to be a bigcommpro.com downloads page. Click on that. And you're going to come over here to this section. You're going to download it for Windows, or you're going to download it for your Linux or OS X operating system. Once it's downloaded and executed, you're going to open the software up. I'm not going to go into that step by step because we have directions over here in the Gen 4 Pro Extreme section. And if you come down to the initial setup instructions for either wired Ethernet or wireless Ethernet, it goes into greater detail on how to actually get the software and open it up and actually set up the file structure and everything else for the software, okay? All down here in this section. So again, we have much greater detail here. I'm not going to go into it, but you can come over here and do some research and have a step-by-step section on how to get the software downloaded and open up, okay? I also encourage you to come over here and just check out this section as well, because we have a lot of really good information about the Gen 4. We have pricing, we have really good systems schematics here which show the whole layout of the system, how the ECU works with all the IO, the dual NTK sensors, the expansion modules, the 16 injector setup. Really a cool schematic showing everything is actually laid out, okay? So I encourage you to come over here, check all the information that we have here, and we'll be going to this into other videos that we have, okay? But let's say you've got the software downloaded, you've got it opened up, and when you come into the software, you're going to have a page that looks something like this, okay? Now you've got two tabs available. We have a gauge cluster tab, and we have a devices on mine, because I use this computer to work on my own personal ECU, okay? So you're going to see here that there's a serial number associated with the ECU. Well, that serial number is actually a MAC address. If you're familiar with networking or you're not, that MAC address is associated with every ECU that we sell because there is a built-in network card in every one of these computers, okay? We don't use Bluetooth. We don't use USB adapters except for a USB Ethernet adapter. Our connection standard now and going forward is truly Wi-Fi or Ethernet. No more cords. You can be over 600 feet away. I've tested it with a simple little basic router that we sell from your vehicle, and we have other routers available where you can go from miles away to actually communicate with your vehicle, okay? So we are a truly wireless product, and again, how we do that is with networking topology, and we will get into that in depth more, but again, we're gonna just keep focused on the project here, okay? So once the software is opened, you're going to come over here. Real quickly, we're going to talk about these 5 sections right here. This check for update. Automatically, every time the software fires up, it's going to check for an update, okay? That's a manual way to do it, but we're always updating the software in the background. Now, this is just going to update the software on the computer, not on the ECU itself, okay? The ECU and the firmware are set up a different way or is updated a different way. Right now, this is just going to be the software update for the computer itself, okay? We're always coming out with updates, always putting new features in the software. Also, when you update the registration, you're simply going to put your name, your email address, and a phone number in there for that'll actually activate the software for you with the new ECU, and you're all done. Again, this is outlined in the instructions on how to set up the software for the first time. So under here, under the options, you can choose different languages, look and feel. This nightshade is what you're looking at right here. You can have a different style if you would, as far as how the software layout is looking. There's preferences for, you know, load the last project on startup. You can have a different font size if you like. This is all part of the project when you're making these changes, because this is all, again, anything you do goes into your project, okay? Data logging, preferences, it's all in here, okay? This data logging section is not being used right now because we're not looking at a log. And if we're going to go into a file, we want to open a project, import a project, or load a tune-up. Those are the basics here. Now, if I go to open project, I'm going to see my name with a serial number. I can either open it up that way, or I can work offline. Now that I'm working offline, everything is loaded up. I'm going to have more stuff available to me here because I'm now inside of the project, okay? So inside this vehicle project here, there's a couple things that we want to focus on here, okay? The first thing is show project folder. When you are configuring your computer and Bigcomp GEN4 software is installed, it automatically creates this Bigcomp GEN4 project folder inside of your documents, okay? Then it's going to create a folder with the name of the ECU and the serial number associated with it. This is your project folder. This is where all your data lies. So all of your data logs, if you make any custom dashboards, all your project configurations, all your restore points, we'll get into that in a minute. It's all stored inside this folder, okay? Now, all these here are all different tables, which you can then save individually inside of the software as well. So if I was to come back out here, and let's say I wanted to save this O2 EGT parameter section, okay? I could save this, and that is now a saved table inside of my project. So I could go crazy, make changes all over this guy, move things all around and make different changes, ton of changes if I want. If I said, you know what, I want to go back to what I had before, I could load in the one that I had saved and bring it right back. Okay, so that's what all of those folders are. I'm sorry, all of those tables are. These are all different tables that I have saved inside of the project. You can save as many as you want. So that way, in case you do make a change, you can just simply load in your table that you had pre-saved originally and go back with. Okay. So up here, if I go back inside my folder, this is where all your data logs are. So all your data logs are stored inside this section, all of your replays. You can upload them off the SD card wirelessly if you are doing a data log directly to your laptop over a Wi-Fi or Ethernet connection in your truck, I'm sorry, in your car. All these go in here. So this is the data log section for all of your data. Okay, so everything resides inside this project folder. This is where you're working from. Everything is saved inside of here. Okay, if I was to go back over here to this vehicle project, another really powerful feature is to create a project backup. And what that does is that creates a backup of all your data logs or restore points. Basically, it bundles everything together into one file so that you could actually take that file, go to a different computer. You could then import that project into another computer, and then everything you have is saved, grouped together, ready to go. You just have to establish a new network connection, activate the software into the computer, and you have all of your data just like you did on the other computer. Very, very, very powerful. So that way you can actually take everything with you. It's all grouped together. You don't have to make any changes, start all over again. You just got to remember to do it. So if you're a heavy user, once a month is probably a good idea. If you're not, every once in a while. Typically for our racers, we recommend to, after a race, just to simply run a quick backup. And that way you've got the all your data stored into a backup project section. Now, in case you have to go grab it, you've got it, okay? Another really powerful feature of this section here is this compare tune. So if I was to compare the tune up, okay, inside of this project with another tune that I have, you can actually go in here and see that I have 47 pages of differences that the software found. So in this section, the oil pressure sensor I have is different from what I had before, okay? So if I go to the next, all these pins are different, right, from what I had before. So it'll generate a difference report based on the two tune-ups of the one you want to load in. So basically, it's pretty dumb proof. It doesn't let you say, yeah, let's just blow out the old tune-up and put a new one in. It says, whoa, 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 you have all these things that are changed or that are different. Do you want to go ahead and put all this stuff in? You can actually save them per page, okay? Or you can just say, hey, you know what? Blow the whole thing in there. I don't care. Yeah, I want the whole thing in there. So again, all these are differences based on the difference report that the software runs. Very powerful, okay? And as far as making these changes, you can go step by step, okay? So if I close that out, another big thing here I can do is the tune restore point section. So again, I can bring in all these are restore points that have been created based on when I was using the software. So typically it goes by date, and you can just simply say, okay, I want to load this one in, I want to load this one in, I want to load this one in. This is a notes section of the software, so it's saying, hey, just so you know, these were your notes that you had when it did a restore of that point. So again, you can bring everything in. I can compare to the current. Okay, it's going to go through all your differences reports. It's going to say, hey, we have 13 pages of differences with this one here. You can go page by page. You can just blow everything out. It's up to you, but everything is checked before it loads everything in, just to make sure that what you know, this is exactly what you want to do, because once the data is blown out, you can always go backwards possibly, but maybe pretty tough. Okay. So I'm going to close these back out. The other thing that we have in here is we have a gauge cluster section. Okay, you can go ahead. We're going to have a future video just all about this here, as far as loading different dashboards, saving different dashboards. You can edit this sucker as much as you want. There's a quick little gauge demo inside here, so you can go through and see numbers moving around and stuff. Okay. But we're going to have a full video just on that itself. Now, and then obviously inside of here, again, we can close the project. We can load the tune up, we can save the tune as. That's all pretty basic stuff. But with the other options here, again, this is all the stuff that was open to us. Now we have some more stuff here that is now open since the actual file is open on the data logging section. Okay, we have tools that are up here. Again, custom channel editor. A lot more stuff is going to be available to you because now we're inside the project itself. Okay, but the biggest thing here is the project itself. So this is your project. This is where all your data lives and breathes. We want to keep track of that. You want to keep track of your data logs. Again, it's a good idea to do a backup every once in a while, just to back all your information up. That way you're good to go and you can keep all your information saved. My name is Ben. I'm with Bigstuff3, and we'll get you on the next one. Thanks.